So welcome back again. This is a very interesting part of a truss. Everybody should know this, that every truss which is composed of n number of members, not necessary that every member is carrying certain force. There are forces which are carrying certain magnitude of force, but of course there are also members which are carrying the zero magnitude of the force. Why it is necessary, that is another topic that we will discuss some other time. But the most important thing which we have to understand right now is, if there are n number of members in a truss, not always necessary that every member has the magnitude of force. There are certain members which carry zero force, but for the sake of stability of that particular truss, that additional member has been introduced into that particular type of a truss. Is it okay? Let us understand in depth what exactly does it mean that a member is having certain zero force and why it is necessary. Now, till now we have seen certain problems on the analysis of the trusses by the method of joint. So you might have understood, if we got to solve that particular problem, how much time it would consume. According to my experience, if there are 16 number of members, it will take 35 minutes to solve that problem. If it has near about 10 to 12 number of members, to solve that particular problem, to find out all the external and internal unknowns, it needed near about 20 to 25 minutes to solve that particular complete problem. Is that okay? So we know how much time is to be consumed or dedicated for the solution of the problem. Then time is very precious. Is there any method by means of which we can identify the forces which are zero in that particular member? That means we have to simply identify the members which are carrying the zero magnitude force. Is that okay? So let us see one example here. So here you can see how many members are there, and I have to find out and I have to analyze this particular truss. So first of all, supports. How many supports are there? Two supports, both are hinge. Is it okay? So two reactions here, two reactions here. So externally how many unknowns are there? There are four unknowns. Internally how many unknowns are there? Let us count the number of internal unknowns. Internal unknown in the trusses are the forces carried by the members. So one member, second member, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it okay? These are the 8 members, means there are how many internal unknowns? There are 8 internal unknowns. So overall there are 12 number of unknowns, and here we have to proceed with the analysis. Now you can understand, if it is the condition that there are 12 number of unknowns, so definitely it will take another 15 to 20 minutes to solve this particular problem. But if you know the basic knowledge, if you have a basic idea and understanding, if you have additional logic in this particular area, then definitely you can solve this problem only in 3 minutes. Believe me, we can solve this particular problem just only in 3 minutes. And what is necessary to solve that particular problem in 3 minutes, that we are going to learn here. Because in this truss, I know there are few members which are carrying zero forces. Can you understand? Here there are near about 8 members. Out of 8, there are some members which are having zero magnitude of force, and I can identify which are those members which are carrying zero force. Is it okay? For that, what procedure we are going to follow? Just pay your keen attention on this particular thing. Is it okay? So what I have on the right hand side, I have a quadrant. Is it okay? I have formed a axis, x axis and y axis. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to move this axis on each and every joint, joint D, C, E, F, B, A, and check out what is available at that particular joint. So let us move that axis on one by one. So what I did here, just follow this. I have axis I have shifted this particular axis on the first joint D, and while placing this axis here, I have seen that at least one of these two is coinciding with x or y axis. Once again I will repeat, when I am going to transfer this axis on joint D, I see that at least one member CD or DE is coinciding with x or y axis. See here. So here this ED member is coinciding with x. Now if you just imagine, if I apply sigma fx and sigma fy for this particular joint, is it okay? So here this is sigma fx. Is it okay? I am going to do the analysis of the free body diagram at joint D. So let us see that free body diagram. What does it consist? It consists of this much part. Is it okay? If I assume the directions, these are the assumed direction. This is my x-axis now. If I do the summation of sigma fx, what will be there? Sigma fx minus fde minus fcd cos of this angle theta. Is it okay? If I apply sigma fy, what will happen? How many forces are there available for sigma fy? Vertical component of this CD. So only one force is there, CD. So FCD sine of theta is equal to 0, therefore FCD is equal to 0. If I know FCD is equal to 0, all of you getting, you can do it on your notebook also. If this is what is theta, is it okay? When I applied sigma fx, what was the equation? Minus FDE minus FCD cos of theta. But FCD is already equal to 0, therefore FDE also has to be equal to 0. All of you getting? So what I did, I took that particular axis, placed on a first joint at D. Is it okay? If I draw the free body diagram of that, you can see I have drawn the free body diagram. So there are only two members where there will be forces. So I assume these two directions. I do sigma fx and sigma fy. So then I came to know these two forces are going to be 0. Or one more trick I will give you, that will be the shortest trick to understand. This is a joint where there is no any external force acting. This is a joint where there is no any force acting. If no force is acting, no force will be carried by CD and ED. No external force, so nothing will be transferred. So obviously this has to be 0, this also has to be 0. Is that okay? So I have given you two tricks, one which you already know, that is sigma fx and sigma fy. Is it okay? If you analyze this, so there you come across FCD is equal to 0 as well as FED is equal to 0. Second thing what I gave you, check on this particular truss. At this joint D, there is no any external force. As no any external force is there, what will be transferred? Nothing will be transferred. So this member has 0 force, this member also has 0 force. You can check it now here, this way. So these two forces both are going to be 0 as there is no any external force acting at joint D. So nothing can be transferred toward joint C and E. This was one of the assumption which we have already seen when we started with the trusses. Is it okay? So as these two are going to be 0, so we eliminate this. So what I did, I came to know these two forces will be equal to 0 because no any external force is acting here. So nothing will be transferred at joint C and joint E. So I have to conveniently eliminate this for the purpose of understanding and analysis. So I will eliminate that. After this, what I have to do? Again shift this particular axis on the new joint. You can see here I am going to shift that axis to the new joint. Again think on, is there any external force acting at C? At C there is no any external load acting. So nothing will be transferred at B and E. Means what? The forces will be 0. So I assume the direction for the forces gave the name. So nothing is available externally on this joint, so nothing will be transferred at B and E. Is it okay? So force in this member BC and CE will be equal to 0. So what we have to do? We have to eliminate those two also. Is it okay? So already we have eliminated 2. Now again we have eliminated 2. So 4 members are already equal to 0. Next to that, what we have to do? Move to a junction now where there are 3. What happened earlier at D as well as E joint? See what was happening? There were only two members. Now I am going to shift this where there are 3 members. See here. Now which will be 0? Can you think on that? See here, these two forces, whatever be the magnitude, AE and EF, whatever may be that magnitude, they have to be equal, opposite and collinear. If I do sigma fx for this particular joint, you will come to know FAF is equal to FEF. So these forces are going to exist. But as far as this vertical is concerned, there is no any external vertical force acting here, right? So this has to be 0. Can you see this? So this has to be 0. FBF has to be 0. So eliminate that. Now you can see what we are retained with. We are retained with a basic triangular figure. So these are the only 3 members which are going to carry the forces. Rest of the members were carrying 0 force. Now tell me, if you have the idea how to analyze this particular problem, how much time you would take to solve this particular problem? It won't be more than 3 to 5 minutes. Is it okay? Now we have gone through this total truss where there were near about 8 members. Out of 8 members, how many are? 5 are 0. 5 members are carrying 0 force. So once I identify those 5 members which are carrying 0 force, so I can eliminate it, and whatever is remaining, that can be analyzed further now. Now can I transfer this axis to this? Yes, I can transfer it. I can transfer the axis to this also, but prior to that, focus on this. There is a horizontal force P, for example, which is acting here. So whatever P is acting going to act at B, part of P force will be transferred here and part of P force will be transferred here. If it is getting transferred in this member and in this member, means ultimately there will be a force here as well as here. Is it okay? If there are these members available with certain magnitude which are not 0, then definitely here also there will be a magnitude of force. Obviously they will be equal opposite, but there has to be the magnitude. Is that okay? So this is how we have to analyze the trusses when we have an idea how to identify the 0 magnitude force. Is that okay? Let us talk about some other part now. You can see we can traverse from A to E all the members. You can see here P force is acting at joint B. So according to the assumption, forces are transmitted from joint to joint through member. So force will be transferred from here to here, here to here. Similarly, now it's time to conclude what we studied exactly in this particular truss. What were the rules which we have followed in understanding the 0 forces in the truss? So here comes the first rule. Whenever we are having a junction of 2 members, this is one junction, this is another junction. What is the difference between these two? This is right angle and here we have certain inclination. So this is the junction of 2 members, and at that junction no external force was acting. Here also as well as here also, at this joint no external force was acting. Is it okay? When this condition persists, this is equal to 0, this will be also equal to 0. This will be also equal to 0. Why? Because at this junction of 2 members, no external load was present. As no load was present, nothing will be transferred at the far end. So this is 0, as well as this is also 0. Same is the case with the another joint. Again, two members irrespective of the inclination between each other. It is immaterial. Just for the sake of understanding, I have drawn these two figures. Otherwise, both have the same meaning. Two members are meeting at a joint. Is it okay? But no external force is acting. So nothing will be transferred at their far end, means those members are carrying 0 forces. So that is the first, what we can say, conclusion we have drawn out of the problem which we have seen just now. Second conclusion, whenever we are having three members at a joint, this is one member, another member, a joint having three members. Is it okay? Now in this case we have to observe that is there any collinearity between these? So here these two are collinear, these two are collinear. So these two will be equal opposite and collinear, and the third will be 0. These two will be collinear, equal opposite and collinear. Nothing is there to be shared with this inclined member or this vertical member. Even there is no any external vertical force acting at this particular joint. Even here there is no any external force acting at this particular joint, maybe vertical or downward. So nothing can be balanced with this BF. So no force here, so this has to be 0. No force here, this has to be 0. So this is the first rule and this is the second rule. Is it okay? So these two rules are to be followed at each and every joint. First rule is what? When there is a junction at which two members are there, immaterial what inclination they have with respect to each other, and at that junction there is no any external force acting. So in that case this has to be 0, this has to be 0. Why? Nothing is acting here, so nothing will be transferred at the far end, so this will carry 0 force. Is that okay? So same is the case with the second type of a problem figure. Is it okay? In second conclusion, what we said, if three members are at the same point at a joint, out of those two are collinear, then they have to be equal opposite and collinear, and the third one has to be 0. Condition is what? No external vertical force is acting at that particular joint. In that circumstance, this force will be equal to 0. Similarly here, no external force was acting vertical, upward or downward, so this has to be 0. So these two rules are to be followed every time to identify the 0 forces in that particular truss. Is that okay? So this is what is the idea and procedure which is to be followed for identifying the nil forces member or 0 forces member. Is that okay? So let us talk something about a new problem. So here comes a new problem. Now just go through this problem, just watch it carefully. Tell me how much time will it take to analyze this problem. There are more than 15 members and 3 external reactions. So total about 18 to 19 number of unknowns are involved, and to find out 19 number of unknowns, it will take near about 25 to 30 minutes. So this much time is to be consumed for analyzing this particular type of a truss. But if you have an idea about identifying the 0 forces, once again I can claim that this problem can be solved within 2 to 3 minutes. If you have an idea, because I know in this truss also there are so many members, or maybe there are few members which are carrying 0 force. Is it okay? So let us apply the knowledge what we have gathered from the earlier problem. So what we need is, we need what? One x and y axis, one coordinate system we need. Is it okay? And that coordinates or that particular origin or that particular axis are to be traversed from one point to the another point. And while traveling, what we are going to see? We are going to see a joint where there are two unknowns or two members meeting, or a joint where there are three members. Is it okay? As far as these two A and G point is concerned, that we cannot take into account because these are supports. So there will be support reactions. So that reaction will be transferred in these joints, or in this particular members at this joint BJ and HF. So we cannot initially start with this. So apart from these two, is there any joint where there are only three members? Yes, I identified it, C and E. So move that axis on these joints one by one. So now you have come across this particular joint. Can you apply one of the rule which we have just now seen? There are three members, out of that two are how? Collinear. So they have to be equal opposite collinear, and third has to be equal to 0. So the same rule which we have just now seen, that I am going to apply here. I have identified C joint where there are three members meeting at a joint C. I have taken that axis to that point and seen that two are collinear. So they have to be equal opposite and collinear, and the third has to be obviously 0. So once I understand this, CK is 0, eliminate that. Identify another joint where there are again three members, out of which two are collinear. So obviously the third has to be what? 0. So there is another joint K. So JK and KD are collinear. They are along same axis. Is it okay? So these two will be what? Equal opposite and collinear. So JK force and KD force will be equal opposite and collinear. The third is remaining, which has to be 0. So once I know this is a 0, can you understand what I am talking about? I am talking about this joint. In this joint there are three members, KD, JK and BK. Out of that, two members, KD and JK, are collinear. On the same axis they are lying, right? So whatever magnitude these two members will be having, they have to be equal opposite and collinear. The only remaining member is BK. There is nothing to balance for this BK, so ultimately that has to be equal to 0. So eliminate that. After finishing with this, search for some other joint where there are again three members meeting. Out of those, two are collinear. See here B, joint B. Can you see? Joint B is that member where there are two members collinear and one third member is also present. So what do we understand? AB and BC are on the same axis. So they will be equal opposite and collinear. The remaining is what? Remaining is BJ. So this has to be 0. Eliminate that. After that, again search for some other joint where there are again three members. Here, can you see this? AJ and JH are collinear, and this is third. It has to be 0. Now you can understand, if this is 0, this is collinear with this, so this also has to be 0. Eliminate that. Move to the next joint now. Yes. See here, apply the same logic. Can you see this? These two are collinear. This is the third. If I consider the free body diagram of this, so three members are there, ED, EF and LE. Out of that, ED and EF are collinear. This is the third member which will have nil force. So eliminate that. Move to the another one joint, another joint. Can you see any other joint? I can see a couple of them. So here I can have L joint. Is it okay? So again LH and DL are collinear. They are on the same axis, x axis. The third one is this one. So this has to be 0. Eliminate it. After this, can you see any other joint where there are three members, out of which two are collinear? Yes. F joint. So EF and FG are collinear. If I draw the free body diagram of this, so EF and FG are collinear. This is the third one which has to be 0. Got it? Now is there any other joint where there are again 3 members? Yes, H joint. So move to H. Again JH, HG are on the same axis. If I draw the free body diagram, JH, HG, so these has to be equal opposite and collinear, and obviously this has to be 0. If LH is 0, which is collinear with DL, so this also has to be 0. So now you can see what we are remained with. So this is the only truss remaining. Now tell me, there are 3 external unknowns, 3 internal unknown. Don't you feel this is the same truss which we have started initially in this class? So this is what is the analysis of the trusses, where it has only 3 sides. I didn't say there are only 3, what we can say, unknowns or internal. Here if I consider this particular joint, so here this will be one force, this will be one force. So after drawing the free body diagram of joint A, I came to know that there are only 2 unknowns, AB and AJ, force in AB and AJ. These 2 can be initially found out from the external conditions of equilibrium by considering equilibrium of whole frame. So I can find out that. So only remaining are AB and AJ. So that can be found out. And after finding out, don't you feel AB will be equal to BC, because they are collinear. If I know BC, which is AB, don't you feel this will be also same? This will be equal. So what I can say in this, force in AB is equal to force in BC is equal to force in CD, because they are collinear now. So whatever will be transferred from here will be transferred from joint to the extreme end. Same is the case with the another joint. Draw the free body diagram. Only 2 unknowns, this one and this one. Once you find out these 2 unknowns, this is collinear with this, so equal opposite collinear. This is collinear with this, so equal opposite collinear. So whatever will be transferred from here, it will be transferred to joint D. So this is how we have to find out all the various unknowns. So here basically, how many internal forces are there? 1 and 2. Rest of them are just same. This is same to this, same to this. This is equal to this and this. Similarly, this is equal to this is equal to this. So this is how we have understood how to identify the 0 forces. Is that okay? So you can understand what I said. If you have an idea to understand and identify the 0 force members or nil force members, then it becomes easier for you people to analyze the rest of the problem. Is that okay? So this is what is the understanding of this particular thing. So you can see, even if I traverse this particular axis at any other joint, there is not that ideal joint where there are only 3 members. Out of that, 2 are collinear and 1 is nil. So that is not possible now. So no joint is remaining. So only this much of the truss is to be analyzed and found out the remaining internal unknowns as the member forces. Is that okay? After this, we can move ahead. So this was the truss, and what we are remained with is this. You can see, as I said initially, there are so many members which are carrying 0 forces. So that we have proved by the simple basic knowledge of understanding 0 forces. Let us talk about this third truss. How many members? Near about again 15 members. External support reactions 4, 19 members. Again it will take near about 25 to 30 minutes to solve this particular problem. But if you have an idea to identify 0 forces or 0 force members, then it becomes very easier. So just on a fast track, I will tell you how it is to be analyzed. So I know I have x and y axis. Shift on a joint where there are 3 members meeting. Out of that, 2 are collinear and third is just a supportive member. So move that. So here I have found out the external support reaction by considering the equilibrium of whole frame. So HAVA, VJHJ are the external support reaction which are been already found out by considering the equilibrium of whole truss. Now it comes to find out the internal members, and especially in this case we are interested in finding out the zero force members. So see this axis, joint B. So AB and BC are how? They are on the same axis. So the magnitude and directions will be equal, opposite and collinear. As far as BL is concerned, it is an additional force. It has nothing to do with that particular joint. Is it okay? So that force will be equal to 0. So eliminate that. Right? Now search for some other joint where there are again 3 members meeting, out of which 2 are collinear and third is just present. So which is that joint? Okay, here again 3 members are there. That can be also understood in this case. These two, though not collinear, but they are right angle to each other, but no any external load is present. Is it okay? So nothing will be transferred here. So you can see ultimately when what I said initially, if there is a force here, that force will be distributed on all these 3 members, but there is nothing here. Means in short I can say this, this and this has to be 0. That we will check it according to this particular rule. Already I have made this CL is equal to 0. Is it okay? After this, next to that joint is D joint. Again CD and DE are on the same axis and DL is present, one more member in this free body diagram. Is it okay? So these two will be equal opposite collinear and this will be 0. So eliminate that. Move to some other joint now. This one, no external load. Finish. All of you getting? Just now I have told you earlier only, as there is no any external force acting here, nothing will be transferred in all the 3 members, even in this. So all these 3 have to be 0. This has been proved now. If this is 0, this also has to be 0, right? So I have eliminated that also. Now watch out for any of the joint where there are again 3 members, out of which 2 are collinear and the third one is just present. Is there any joint? I don't feel so. No point in having this. No point. No need. Why I can't take this? You should also understand. These 2 members EF and FG are lying on the same axis, right? So these will be obviously equal, opposite and collinear. But this is not going to be 0. This Fk is not going to be 0. Why? Because there is one external force acting here. Is it okay? Rather I would say, if this is acting downward, this has to act in the upward direction. If this is 10, then this also has to be 10. Why? Again, these 2 are how? Equal, opposite and collinear. As these 2 are equal, opposite and collinear. EF and FG are on the same axis, equal, opposite, collinear. Same is the case with this vertical. This load acting downward and this member are lying on the same axis. So they have to be equal, opposite and collinear. So no member will be 0 at this particular joint. Move to the another joint. Here, can I say KH is equal to 0? No. Why? Because external force shown by red and this member are how? They are lying on the same axis. So you can see here, same axis. So these 2 have to be equal, opposite and collinear. These 2 members, in these members GH and HJ, forces will be how? Equal, opposite and collinear, right? So nothing is 0 in this particular case. So this is how we can traverse from each and every joint, and we now conclude there is no any member remaining who will be carrying 0 force. So this is how was the application of knowledge from the basic concept to identify what are the members which are carrying zero magnitude of force. And once you understand those zero magnitude of forces, rest of the job becomes very simple. Is that okay? So this is what we can understand from this particular understanding of the members from a basic axis. Is that okay? So now I hope you have understood what is this method by means of which we can identify the zero forces in each and every truss which you are going to come across. And this is very important because in the coming classes, in the next learnings, we will be coming across certain problems which again has a complexity. There are so many members, and if you have this knowledge with you people, you will definitely understood what forces or what members are there who are carrying zero magnitude of the force. And that is why it become very necessary to understand at this moment. And because of that, I have purposely taken this particular article of identifying zero force members. So I hope you have understood this in all respect, and you have understood the rules to be applied on each and every joint, and for that you also understood what are the joint where that particular axis are to be transferred. Is that okay? So with this, I hope you have understood everything about identifying the zero forces. Definitely in the coming classes we will be taking and coming up with certain problems which will be having number of members, and there, as you are equipped with the knowledge of identifying the zero forces, in that case you will be the fastest person to solve that particular problem. Is that okay? So with this, I think I should conclude for today. Once again we will be meeting with the higher knowledge about this particular analysis of the trusses by the method of joints. Thank you very much for having patient listening.